everyone, my name is Jackie and today we're going to fall in love with the Russian spiral stitch. It's a beautiful tubular beadwork technique that creates a mesmerizing textured rope. One of the best parts is how you can use color. Using different size and colored seed beads creates stunning dynamic effects, from a subtle elegant twist to a vibrant bold rope. But it's not just pretty, it's incredibly flexible. The stitch naturally curves and drapes, making it absolutely perfect for comfortable, stylish bracelets and elegant flowing necklaces. Ready to start creating? See my link right down below to visit my new website, JackieMadeIt.com, for more tutorial videos, my blog, beautiful jewelry that I sell, and so much more. Now let's talk materials. For the Russian spiral, we'll need size 11 seed beads for the core and 3 separate colors of size 8 seed beads for the spiral's texture and color. Because the stitch needs to be sturdy and hold its beautiful tubular shape, you'll want to use a strong beading thread. I recommend either 8-pound or 10-pound test thread. You'll also need a size 10 beading needle and a sharp pair of scissors for trimming your thread. We'll get into the clasp later on in this video. First, let's prep our thread. I usually use my pliers to flatten the very end before I thread my needle. Then I put on about 2 full arm lengths of thread. To begin, thread on 9 size 11 seed beads. Now go back up through all 9 beads again to form a perfect circle. Don't tie a knot yet, just go through a couple more seed beads in the circle. This brings your needle into the correct starting position for your first row. Now we start the spiral. Add 2 size 11 seed beads, then add your color A size 8 bead. Skip 3 beads in your base circle and go into the 4th bead. You'll want to pull tightly and you'll have the beads kind of sitting up on the circle. Just like so. And it's going to be really sturdy. Now add 2 more size 11s. And then add your color B8 size 8 seed bead. You'll skip 3 size 11s and go into the 4th one. You'll pull tightly, just get that to stand up. And last, we're going to add 2 size 11s. Then you're going to add color C. Now you'll see that you only have 2 seed beads left, so you'll go into the size 11 just before the A bead. And you've completed your first row. Now we're going to move on to the next row. Well, that will be your only step up row in this project, so we're going to start the next row and it's going to be repetitive from here. So add 2 11s and 1 A bead. You're going to skip over the first A bead and the other seed beads, and you're going to go into the size 11 just before your B color. Pull nice and tight, making sure everything is standing up and very firm. And you can always tell which color to put on next because the one that you're skipping over is the next color you're going to put on. So add 2 size 11s. Add your B color and skip all the beads until you get to the size 11 just before your C color. Pull that nice and tight. And we'll finish off this row by adding 2 size 11s and then your C color. Okay, go into the bead just before your A color. And pull tight. All right, and we're going to keep repeating these steps. I'll do a couple more just to show you. But it's the same thing all the way around. So add 2 size 11, put on your A, and I like to go 1, 2, A, and then go into the 11 just before your B color. And then I think 1, 2, B. Go into the 11 just before your C color. And then 1, 2, C. And then go into the one just before the A color. Okay, pull nice and tight, and you can see your patterns starting to form. They're starting to go into a spiral. So that's going to look really nice once it gets going. You can see how they all go diagonally, and you know, each color has its own path. So again, we're going to go 1, 2, A. Go into B just before B. One, 2, B. And put it in the size 11 next to the C, before the C. Okay, and then 1, 2, C. Into the bead just before the A bead. And so the pattern just totally repeats all the way around in the exact same way. So you never have to step up or worry about that. Just keep up with the colors that you're using. So I always think 1, 2, A, 1, 2, B, and 1, 2, C, just to make sure I keep them in line. And you can always tell by the color that you're skipping over, that's the one that you're going to insert. Now eventually you're going to run out of thread, so I'll meet you back here once I start running out, and I'll show you how to tie it off and tie on a new thread. I'm at the point where I have just a little bit of thread left, and I have found that with 2 arms length worth of thread I can get about 4 inches, so that'll give you an idea of how much thread to use. And to tie it off, I'm going to go underneath the thread past my last bead. And I'm going to tie a half hitch knot. Just making sure that it's going in the right place. Okay, and now I'm going to go down one of my 8/0s, and then I'm going to go underneath the 11/0, and I'm going to tie another 1/2 hitch knot here. And then I'm going to travel down as many 8/0s as I can. I'd say about 1 inch, just to make sure that my thread is long enough and secure. And then to tie back on, I'll prepare my thread, and then I'll go up through a few beads, tie a couple more 1/2 hitch knots, and then thread back up through towards the top. Now, it will be essential to come back out through the seed bead just before bead A, so you want to make sure that you're in that position. If not, then just follow your needle around until you get to that position. All right, and then you start your pattern from here and keep going around. In this section, I'm going to teach you how to measure for your clasp. So I'm using a toggle clasp here, but you could use a lobster claw, magnetic clasp, whatever you like for your work. So I'm going to line it up on the edge, and I'm grabbing my tape measure. And so far with the clasp, I've got about 6 3/4 inches. Now I'm going to add about 1/4 inch just for the tail of the toggle bar, and I want my bracelet to be about 7 1/2 inches, so I'm going to add another 1/2 inch to the bracelet itself to allow for the clasp, and that should give me the right size. Now we're going to learn how to attach the clasp. So I'm going to run my needle through the seed bead before the 8/0, pull through. Then I'm going through the 4 seed bead and the 8/0. And again. Through the next 11/0 and 8/0. And one more time. So now we're going to put on the round part of the toggle clasp. So I'm going to add 2 of the bronze. I think that would look best. And then I'm going to go through the hole in the toggle. Going to add 2 more. And then on the opposite side, I'm just going to go through one of the 8/0 seed beads. I know there's 3 of them there, so it's hard to get them exact, but we'll just weave around them and secure it. All right, so I'm going to go up the 2 beads. Through the toggle clasp and down through the other 2 8/0s. And then I'm going to pick a bead on the other side and just go through that. Then I'll go back up 2 of the 8/0s. Make it nice and tight through the toggle. And then down through the other 8/0s. Okay, then I'm going to go back through the original bead that I started with. And from here it's very sturdy, so I can tie off my thread at this point. So I've tied on my thread for the other end, and now I'm going to add 5 of my bronze size 8 beads. And I'll pull them down all the way to the end, and now I'm going to add my toggle clasp. the toggle part. I'm going to go through the bottom of it, and I'm going to go down through the 5 size 8 beads. Then I'm going to pick a size. Looks like these are the seed beads, so I'm going to go through the 5th seed bead, or just to the opposite end. That'll be fine. And I'm going to go back up through the 5 size 8s. Through the toggle and back down. I have thick thread, so you don't have to go through it so many times, but it does help to make it really sturdy. So I'm just going to go back through the bead on the other end. Back up one more time. And back down. Starting to get a little tight. That's what I want. Careful not to tangle up your thread. Alright, and from here I'm just going to weave my needle through the other beads and tie it off as usual. And that's it. You have a beautiful Russian spiral, and you can vary the beads, the colors, and the clasp, and it's really good for necklaces and bracelets. Hey everyone, thanks for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe and leave your comments down below. May creativity be your guide.